Okay, Mataji, you
Hare
can
Krishna Prabhu.
Kanawati. This is Ajnana.
Am I supposed to read this, Prabhu?
Yeah, now you read everything.
Okay. Om Ajnana Timirandansya Jnana Nanjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yana Tasme Sri Guruve Namaha.
The English.
I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Mantra prayer to A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatye Deshatarine. I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken shelter at his lotus feet. Our respectful obeisances are unto you, O spiritual master, servant of Bhakti Siddhartha Saraswati Goswami. You are kindly preaching the message of Lord Chaitanya Deva and delivering the Western countries which are filled with impersonalism and voidism. Panjatattva Mantra, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vranda. I offer my obeisances to Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasa and all others in the line of devotion. Maha Mantra. Maha means great and mantra means sacred chant for deliverance. Of all mantras in the Vedas, one is called the Maha Mantra or Great Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The words Hare pronounced Hare, Krishna pronounced Krishna, and Rama rhymes with drama are Sanskrit words. Hare is an address to God's energy known as Radha, and Krishna is name of God, meaning he who is attractive to everyone. Rama means one who gives pleasure and enjoys life. When chanted, the Maha Mantra is a petition to God. O Krishna, O energy of Krishna, please engage me in your service. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So everyone, please pray, please engage. Krishna, please engage us in your service. How we engage in his service? By following his instructions, reading his Bhagavad Gita, preaching about Bhagavad Gita to others. That is the service that we can do for. And then everyone will become very peaceful and the whole world will become peaceful, right? This is our goal in life, to have nice atmosphere in this world, less cruelty and more love. So we start with Gita Gyan. Who would like to volunteer? Okay, who would like to volunteer this? Anjana?
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure. Very loud. No problem.
Okay. Devaki Nandana Krishna Gita Patena Tusyati Yadana Vede Danena Yachna Tita Radharibi. The son of Devaki, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, cannot be satisfied by anyone's study of the Vedas, charity, sacrifice, pilgrimage, or vows as much as he is satisfied by the devotional recitation of the Gita. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, these are the Panchatattvas. This is Mahaprabhu, which is Krishna. This is Nityananda Prabhu, it is Balaram. This is Advaita Acharya, which is Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva in one incarnation. And this is Gadada Srivasadi, which is Radharani. And finally, Narada Muni as Gadadhar. Okay, so we take the respect from all of them. They are very merciful. We are always chanting their pranams before we start Hare Krishna, because whatever mistakes we do in chanting or when our mind goes here and there, all forgiven by these five merciful personalities. So we chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we take the blessings of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Who would like to read this? Gita Mahatma.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Mata.
Devaki Nandana Krishno Gita Tatena Tushyati Yathana Vedir Dane Yajna Tirtha Vratha Dibhya. The son of Devaki, the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, cannot be satisfied by anyone's study of the Vedas, charity, sacrifice, pilgrimage, or vows, as much as he is satisfied by the devotional recitation of the Gita. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Just now we read this, again we are reading. So the three modes of material nature. So today's chapter is 14 three modes of material nature, and the chapter 17 is a continuation of chapter 14. In between chapter 15 and 16, Krishna speaks about other things. Then again he comes back to the three modes of material nature, but in a different way. So today is a general. Later on in chapter 17 is a specific, more specific. Okay, who would like to start with this verse?
Can I try?
Yes,
Sir,
sure.
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Parambuya Paravaksha Yami Jananam Jananam Uttamam Yashnatva Munaya Sharve Param Sitim Ido Gatahu. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, again, I shall declare to you this supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowing which all the sages have attained the supreme perfection. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Normally is Arjuna asking question and Krishna answering. This chapter Krishna is immediately telling, continuing from chapter 13. I shall declare the supreme wisdom, the best of knowledge, which all the sages have knowing which all sages have attained the supreme perfection. So if you become like the sages and you listen to the supreme knowledge, you will also get the supreme perfection. Don't worry, Krishna is a very kind. You know, it is said that even to atheists he is kind. What to say about to devotees? Okay. One minute, let me check. Okay, who would like to read this? 14.4. 1 minute. You read 14.3 from Bhagavad Gita and then this.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare.
I will read. Text 3. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is the Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata. 14.4. Prabhu, can I follow you?
Okay. Sarva Yonisu Konteya
Sarvayonisu Kaunteya
Murtaya Sambhavantiya
Murtaya Sambhavantiya
Asam Brahma Mahayoni
Tasam Brahma Mahadyone
Aham Bija Pradapita.
Aham Bija Pradapita. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving father. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. In chapter 13, remember, Krishna was speaking all the different modes of the different material world is made out of different elements. So now Krishna is going one step further. He is saying in 14.3, the total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth. And it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata. So this is actually, Krishna has already made the field. The body is the field. And now he has to impregnate the field with the living entities. And that Krishna does to all of us, and he puts us in the bodies as per our karma and as per our inclination. So what is the inclination? Krishna is going to speak now on the inclinations. What type of people are there and what type of bodies they get? Okay? Okay, who would like to read this?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, I would like to try.
Yes.
Sattvam Rajas Tama iti Guna Prakri Sambhava Nibadnanti Mahabahu Dehinam Avyayam. Material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, O mighty armed Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by these modes. Hare Krishna.
So there are three types of people. One type is they are very more good. Sometimes they are a little bit passionate and sometimes they are a little bit bad. This is tamas. Sattva means mode of goodness, rajas mode of passion, and tamas mode of ignorance. And then there are other people who are more in the mode of passion, but some goodness they have and some ignorance they have, or we call it badness, you know. And then there are some people who are more bad than anything, but they have some passion and they have some goodness. I give you an example. Supposing there is a nice person who does a lot of charity, but sometimes he becomes very selfish, you know, certain times, you know, although he's charitable, but sometimes he's very selfish. So then he has a little bit of mode of raja. And sometimes maybe he likes to drink. So that is the mode of ignorance. Drinking is bad for your health, right? That is the mode of ignorance. So example, you know, so here you see the three circles. You have rajas red, sattva as yellow, and tama as blue. Okay, who likes red color? Who likes yellow and who likes blue?
I like blue, Prabhu.
You like blue. Anyway, I hope you're not in the tama. Anyway, I also like blue. So it's just a color that they put. But anyway, you have people who may be how many percent in the mode of goodness, but they have a mixture of those in the mode of ignorance and some in the mode of passion. So same way, The predominant, these are predominantly people in the mode of goodness. Predominantly people in the mode of passion. Predominating people in the mode of ignorance. So there is. And then when you have some people in the center, they are mixture of everything. Okay, let's carry on. Krishna says that as the type of person you are, so the body you get, and so the personality you will give out. Okay, who would like to read this?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I can try.
Yes, please. Sing
Uh,
huh?
Tatra Sattvam Nirmalatvat Prakasakam Anamayam Sukha Sangena Nati Yana Sangena Chanaga. O sinless one, the mode of goodness, being purer than others, is illuminating, and it frees one from all sinful reactions. Those situated in that mode become conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge. Example, Brahmana, scientist, philosopher, poet.
Thank you. So, a person who is in a mode of goodness is more happy than the others, because why? They are less conditioned by greed, lust, and anger. This one binds you to the material world: lust, greed, and anger. So in this way, they are little more giving. They like to give more and help people more. And so they are in a mode of goodness. Normally, if you want to become a devotee, you normally have to reach to the level of goodness, and then you go to the become a devotee, which is transcending the level of goodness. Actually, now Krishna is speaking about mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. But later on, he will tell you about transcending the mode of goodness. Mode of goodness means I want to help people, but I feel happy and satisfaction by helping people. Okay? All right. Now let's see mode of passion. What's the difference? Okay, who would like to read?
Prabhu, I'd like to try.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Right.
Rajaragatmakam Vidhi Krishna Sangha Samudbhavam Tannibatnati Kanteya Karma Sangena Dehinam. The mode of passion is born of unlimited desires and longings, O son of Kunti, and because of this, the embodied living entity is bound to material fruitive actions. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So now, just now, I gave an example. The person likes to give and he feels happy giving. He feels good, right? Okay. Now the person in the mode of passion, he will give only if people are watching his giving. Then people say, "What a nice man." From that, he is very happy. So you see, the giving is now in a mode of passion. That was mode of goodness. This is a mode of passion. Okay, and people in a mode of passion, they like to enjoy material things and all that. So as you can see from this picture also, they enjoy a lot of opposite sex company. They feel very good. I'm not saying not to do, but anyway, this is a picture they show. So let's go to the mode of ignorance. Who would like to read this? Volunteer? Parimala? Or someone else?
Okay, Prabhuji, I can read.
Yeah.
Tamastva ajnana jamvidi mahanam sarvadehinam pramadalasya pramadalasya nidrabis tan nibanati bharada. O son of Bharata, know that the mode of darkness born of ignorance is the delusion of all embodied living entities. The results of this mode are madness, indolence, and sleep, which bind the conditioned soul. Thank you.
Thank you. So these are people in the mode of ignorance. They will do things that are harmful for themselves. You know, so like this man, he taking drugs. Harmful for him, but he's doing it. He's doing it to get the kick from drugs. But you know, finally it will ruin you and it's no good for you. You become so destitute. And for him, the little enjoyment he gets from the drugs is worth everything. But to get the drugs, he got no money, he has to steal sometimes. So that is sinful. Even taking drugs is sinful because what happens, you ruin your body. Your body is the temple of your soul. So how can you mistreat the temple of your soul? That is another question that you have to ask. So these results are madness, indolence and sleep which bind the conditioned soul. To get out of this condition from the material world is quite impossible, but it is possible only by the mercy. So in this way, we all can see to be in the mode of ignorance is not very good. You will, like people who are always drinking, one day their liver will go, example. And the money is just wasted in unnecessarily something that is detrimental to your health. And then your mind, your brain also dies. Certain brain cells dies with alcohol, example. So all this is mode of ignorance. Who else is in the mode of ignorance? Ravana was in the mode of ignorance. Why? Well, of course, he had passion and goodness. Ignorance was that he wanted to steal other people's wives. So that is the mode of ignorance. That is totally sinful, and somehow he want to steal the Lord's wife of all the things. You know, that's the worst. Okay, who would like to read this?
Can I try, Prabhuji?
Yes.
I follow you.
Yes. What happened? Yeah, are you ready?
Yeah.
Yada satve
Yeda satve
pravriditu
pravirditu
palayam yati
palayam yati
ehabrit
eha bret
adotama
tadotama
vidam lokam
vidam lokhan
amalam
amalan
pratipadyate
atipadyate
rajasi pralayam
rajasi pralayam
tatva karma
gatva karma
angisu
sangisu
jayate.
jayate.
Yeah, I read it wrongly. Can we redo? Raja Sipralayam Gatva
Raja Sipralayam Gatva
Karma Sangisu Jayate
Karma Sangisu Jayate
Tata Pralina Tasmasi
Tatva Pralayinas Tatmasi
Mudayo Nisu Jayate.
Muda Yogi Sujayate.
Okay, read louder, huh? The English.
When one dies in the mood of goodness, he attains to the pure higher planets of the great sages. When one dies in the mood of passion, he takes birth among those engaged in fruitive activities. And when one dies in the mood of ignorance, he takes birth in the animal kingdom. Hare Krishna ji.
Hare Krishna. So if you are in a mode of ignorance and you die in that state, you will take birth among animals. If you are in a mode of passion, you will take birth among people who are very attached to worldly things. But if you die in the mode of goodness, you will get to the very elevated place. You may go to the Deva planet, or you may go to the planet where the sages go to, or you may even go to a very pious families in the world to continue your spiritual life. Okay, so here we have the mode of goodness. Goodness brings you happiness, brings you satisfaction, gives you a lot of knowledge, and you are superior. And the characteristic is you'll get a lot of knowledge and you will not be sinful. And you will be a pious person. You know, you become a very spiritual person. People in a mode of goodness are attached to fruitive activities and they have desire and attachment, so much desire and attachment. And then what are the characteristics? They are very intense and they have unlimited desires and longings. And they have a lot of attachment to worldly things. They think the worldly things is going to be forever with them, but they always forget that at the time of death, you have to give up everything. And they are very attached to fruitive activity. And they are actually miserable. You may think they are very rich and all, but they got no peace in their mind. This hankering, desiring, they will never get peace. And people in a mode of ignorance are like mad people. They are lazy people, and they always like to sleep. Nothing else they want. They want to work. They want to just get free money and sleep. And they are in the mode of delusion. They are in a mode of darkness. They are mode of madness and inertia. And they are foolishness. So an example of work, a person in the mode of goodness is a person who is doing a lot of he's doing according to what Krishna wants him to do. Duty, he's in the mode of goodness. So if you are doing as per what Krishna is asking you to do, you're in the mode of goodness. Like Arjuna, even though you are killing in your line of job is to kill, but because you are a soldier, you have to kill, and you are doing it for whatever Krishna wants you to do. It's a mode of goodness. Mode of passion is you're always attached to the results, right? And the mode of ignorance is you always like to do things which are harmful for you, or you like to do things which are harmful to others. And or you can do things which are harmful to both yourself and others. Example, if you are a gangster, you are doing things which are harmful for you. One day you'll get caught and go jail. Or if you don't get caught also, one day you will die and become animal, right? And the other one is you're always harming other people. You are cheating others, harming others. That is the mode of ignorance. Another example is if you become a prostitute, then that is also laziness. A prostitute is normally a lazy person, one money fast, without much work. So that one is actually sinful, but you will have to go and take animal birth next life. So that's bad. At first, actually, it said that ladies who are always naked, doing naked work, one day they'll become trees, not even animals, because the trees are like naked. So you take birth as trees, and then from the trees, slowly you make your way up to animal and come back to human form. So it's a long journey still. So that is quite a bad experience. Of course, the people in the mode of ignorance are also those who are doing nothing and not contributing to the world. Okay. So who would like to read this? So like
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can I follow after you the Sanskrit?
yeah, okay. 1 minute, huh? Let me check.
Sure.
Okay, okay. Mam chayo
Mam chayo
vyabhicharena
kabicharena.
vyabhicharena
How to pronounce it, Prabhu?
like we are
Vya, vyabicharena
bhakti yogena
bhakti yogena
sevate
sevate
sagunan
sagunan
samati yainan
samati yatyana
samati
samati
yaitan
yaitan
yatan
yatan
T-Y-A-I.
samati yaitan
T-Y-A.
yeah
Yatan.
yaitan
Yeah. Brahma Bhuyaya.
Brahma buaya
Bhuyaya.
buyaya
Kalpate.
kalpate. One who engage in full devotion service, unfailing in all circumstances, at one transit the mode of material nature, and those comes to the level of Brahman. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Just now, in the beginning, what I said, you go above the mode of goodness. This now Krishna is saying that you engage in full devotional service means you are unfailing in all circumstances. You transcend even the mode of goodness. Because the mode of goodness brings you to back to this material world, maybe as a devotee family or in the Deva planet, but still the material world. So you want to go back to the spiritual world. Remember the story of Narada Muni? I did tell you, I believe, that he was a son of a lady who was a little bit impure, right? So, but after the mother died, he was taking a lot of association with really spiritual people who used to come. And the mother was also actually quite nice. When the spiritual people come, she did not charge them. And she served them nicely. And the other thing the mother did was she always offered to Krishna and then take as prasad. So you see, sometimes you may think, oh, why this lady is doing like this? But you cannot criticize anyone. Because she also go back spiritual because her son became a pure devotee. In his next life, after his mother died, he went and to the holy dham and associated with all the spiritual people. And the next life, he became Narada Muni. See? So in this way, we can understand how to transcend. So when you take devotional service, you transcend the material world. You don't even want to become a rich man in your next life or a king in your next life. Don't want, because as a king you may again get entangled as a come back in the material world. Again, the miseries of the material world will definitely act on you. There are three miseries of the material world. One is given by your own body. One is given by other living entities. And the third is given by devas. You think what devas give? Sometimes they give you very cold weather, sometimes very hot, sometimes the all flood, sometimes no water. These are miseries caused by the devas. And then the miseries caused by other people. Sometimes they will hurt you, they will cheat you of your money. They're miserable, right? Sometimes they say bad things to you. Then the third thing is caused by your own body. Sometimes you cannot walk, sometimes you become sick, sometimes your eyes cannot work, sometimes your ear got problem. Only. So the three miseries are, one is by devas, one is by other living entities. Sometimes the tiger come and bite you, or maybe the snake bites you. or maybe other people hurt you, or whatever, right? And then the third is your own body. Your own body also not perfect. Okay? So the misery. So you want to get rid of these three miseries, you go into devotional service and you will become a little bit understanding about that the material world is temporary. We are now playing our action as the actors, and our real job is after the acting is finished, we go back and stay in our home with the Supreme Lord. Okay? All right. Understand, huh? Okay. Who would like to read this?
Hare Krishna Prabhu,
Hare
can you guide?
Yes. Ramano hi
Brahmano hi
pratistaham.
pratistaham
Sorry. Pratistaham
pratistaham
amritasyaya
amritasyaya
yascha. Sorry. Yascha
yayasya cha
sasvatasya cha
sasvatasya cha
dharmasya
dharmasya
dharmasya. Okay. Sukhasyai.
dharmasya
Okay. Sukhasyai. Can you hear? Hare Krishna. Kanti kasya.
sasyai
Yeah. Kanti kasya cha.
Can you hear me? I think my line is not clear.
It's not clear. Okay, you try the last line. The other three we did get you. This last one. Sukhasyai. Haripal? No, we can't hear you.
I think a line, Prabhu.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I read the last one and wait for her to connect. Sukhasyai kanti kasya cha. Is she coming back? Okay, someone else can read this English.
I will read, Prabhu.
Yeah, sure.
And I am the basis of the impersonal Brahman, which is immortal, imperishable, and eternal, and is the constitutional position of ultimate happiness.
Yeah. So we were going to this. Krishna is now giving the three modes of people, right? Three types of mode of people, and the three types of people and what they attain after death. So now he is coming that you go above these three modes, and Krishna is saying, actually, I am the Supreme Lord, and I am the basis. I am the Supreme Lord. The impersonal Brahman are the rays. I am the basis and impersonal Brahman, which is immortal, imperishable, eternal, and is constitutional position of ultimate happiness. So when you first reach the impersonal Brahman, then you go further and you reach the Lord. You know, because you see the sunshine first, then you can go and see the sun. Okay. 1 minute. Let's see any other. Yeah, this is the last word. Okay, we can read something. We have a little time, right? So we read. Someone can read from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, 22 to 25, because this is the last verse, 27. 14, 22 to 25, 3 verses from Bhagavad Gita. Any volunteer? Only the English can read.
Okay. Could I read, Prabhu?
Just
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. 22 to 25. Yes. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O son of Pandu, he who does not hate illumination, attachment, and delusion when they are present, or long for them when they disappear, who is unwavering and undisturbed, though all these reaction of the material qualities, remaining neutral and transcendental, knowing that the modes alone are active, who is situated in the self and regards alike happiness and distress, who looks upon a lump of earth, a stone, and a piece of gold with an equal eye, who is equal towards the desirable and the undesirable, who is steady, situated equally well in praise of and blame, honor and dishonor, who treats alike both friend and enemy, and who has renounced all material activities. Such a person is said to have transited to modes of nature.
Yeah. So actually, these 3 verses are the conclusion for this chapter. Finally, Krishna is giving the. So we go one by one. Okay. So Krishna says, "He that who hates no illumination." That means when you see mode of goodness or mode of attachment or mode of delusion, you don't hate it. You just have compassion for people in the mode of illusion and people in the mode of attachment, but you don't hate it. You understand? So you must become understand that these people are acting according to their modes, the type of people they are. Their mind is under the control of the people in the mode of ignorance. Their senses are controlling their mind. People in a mode of attachment, also the senses are being controlled by the mind. But the last one, ignorance, is more. It is the mind, the senses are really overdoing it, becoming on the verge of mental madness. And the attachment is also the senses are controlling the person. In a mode of illumination, normally the person is controlling the senses. So in this way, but whatever it is, you yourself look at yourself and try and become above even the mode of illumination. A person who gives charity and is happy when the person is grateful, that is mode of goodness. A person who gives charity without expecting anything back from the person who is taking is the mode of transcendence. A person who gives charity so that people can say he's a great man and give him a lot of respect, and he won't give charity when no one knows about it. He'll make sure everyone knows, the mode of passion. And people who give charity to drug addicts is the mode of ignorance. You're giving money to a person who's going to further kill himself. So in this way, this is the type giving you the example. So if you go above the 3 modes, you're giving charity, without even thinking any respect or what. Nobody know also, you don't give any care. You are just doing it because you want to do it as a duty. Okay? Because Krishna says you have to do charity. So I am doing charity, but I don't care for the name, fame, nothing. Whether they appreciate or not is not important to me. So, and for them when they disappear. So they one thing is he does not hate when they are present, and he does not care for them when they are not there. You know, whatever it is, he's unattached. He's unwavering and undisturbed through all these reactions of material qualities. Whatever the people are doing, he's not disturbed. He is true to himself and true to Krishna. You just do what is right and what Krishna wants you to do, and you become neutral and transcendental, knowing that these modes of nature, uh, which give happiness and distress, is temporary. And then you look upon the lump of earth, a stone, and a piece of gold with equal eye. I'm going to ask you, if you see a lump of earth and you see a stone and you see gold, you will go for the gold or not? But why is it saying equal eye? In a way, it is like this. If you have possessions, you have a beautiful house, or you have a lot of money, or you have nothing much, you have a stone hut, or you have a earth hut, mud hut, and you have not much possession. But all these things you have to give up when you die, right? So in this way, it is useless to you in the long run. But of course, when you have money and you use it in the service of Krishna, that is good. That is very good. In the sense that you are doing as per what Krishna wants you to do, act, and then you give charity to people, you give money to temple. If you got money, you give. You don't have, it's okay. You can do some sweeping in the temple. Krishna doesn't see you're giving money or you're sweeping his temple. He sees equally. So in this same way, a person who gives lot of donation to the temple and a person who is just there, he has not much money, he is just doing service and sweeping, cutting vegetable, or is actually whatever the capacity of the person is. So you have an equal vision. And then you must be steady, and whether people praise you or blame you, you no problem. You are doing what is right. Nobody will ever always, you will never get praise. One action you do, nobody is going to praise you all the time, and no one is going to blame you all the time. Some people, even good things you do, someone will find fault. So in this way, you don't worry about, you don't go, okay, I want to do such a thing so that people praise me. No, that is also wrong. And then I must not do this thing, otherwise people blame me. No, don't do that. You do what is correct. And then you must be equal in honor and dishonor. You don't worry. Whatever it is, you do your job. And treat both friend and enemy. You know, there was this Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He is the guru of Srila Prabhupada. So he used to give a lecture. And then every day there was people listening to him. He's a very learned man. And a lot of people appreciated his lectures. You know? But there was one man at the end, you know, they asked any question, like I asked any question. He will always find fault with Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. Say, no, you are saying wrong, this, that. Anyway, he keep on going on. One day he did not turn up. He did not turn up. Then the second day he did not turn up. Then the third day he did not turn up. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati asked the devotee, where is that man? I am missing him. Everyone looking at the Maharaj and said, Maharaj, every time you give lecture, he finding fault in you. He's gone now, it's better, right? He said, no, it's not better. I miss him actually. Because every time I give a lecture, he will say something and find fault. It will keep me humble. That is a very nice thing. He's doing service for me actually. So you understand. Not that a person is telling good things. He said, no, I appreciate him because he is keeping me humble. He's always finding fault in my lecture. I'm, I mean, of course, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati is very high level. That very hard to actually get. There is no fault in his lectures, but the person finds fault, don't know from where, but still he keeps him humble. So he says, I appreciate that man. So you see how elevated people, they think they don't care. And then who has renounced all material activities, such a person is said to have transcendented the most of material nature. Okay, who would like to read this? Who hasn't read yet?
I'll read, Prabhu.
Yes.
In the practice of Krishna consciousness, the devotee engages all the gates, the whole body, to reach the state of pure goodness. For example, the devotee uses the eyes and ears to read and hear the scriptures, the nostrils to smell flowers offered to the Lord, and the mouth to taste food offered to the Lord, and to chant the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very nice, very easy process, right? Okay. Any questions on this chapter? Any question or any other question on previous chapters also? Today's chapter is the three modes of material, right?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Text 20. I need some explanation for that. I'm not so sure.
Yeah. Okay, Tarun.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, can.
When the embodied being is able to transcend these three modes associated with the material body, he can become free from birth, death, old age, and their distresses, and can enjoy nectar even in this life.
Yeah.
Yeah, just an explanation on that. Thank you.
Okay, supposing you are very spiritual, you are going, you are hearing the kirtan, you are enjoying nectar, and then they serve you nice prasad, you are enjoying nectar, and then you are having association of nice, beautiful devotees. I'm not saying all devotees are up to that level yet, but anyway, you are enjoying. So that is also nectar. So you are actually in the spiritual world at that moment. For the time being, you are in the spiritual world. You are fully enjoying yourself. And then maybe you are dancing, the devotees are dancing and you are dancing with the devotees, while the kirtan is going on. If you see the YouTube, you just type Hare Krishna and you will see Hare Krishna, the people all are dancing and the kirtan is going on. Everyone is lost his consciousness of the material world, and they are actually a little bit in the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, this is all we serve the Lord, we eat nice prasad, we also dance and sing, and we are in transcendental bliss. So that is, if you transcend these three modes, you can be free from birth. That means you can go back to spiritual world. But even in this life, you can also taste the spiritual world. Okay? Does that answer your question? What happened? The line got cut off. Okay, any other question? Wait for her to come back. Any other question? Tulasi, what you understand from today's lecture, chapter? Sorry. What point you understand? Tulasi? Okay, who would like to say something on today's? Yogindra, you like to say something on today's? Any point that strikes you?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, sorry, my battery went off. That's why I was shut down.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Okay. You like to say anything about today's? Any point that strike your mind?
Krishna Prabhu. Today I learned about the three modes of the three gunas,
Yes.
which is the goodness, passion, and ignorance. So mainly on this topic.
Okay, good. Anyone else? Kalyani, anything?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. The same here. I've also learned about the three mode: goodness, passion, ignorance.
Very good.
Yeah. Thank you.
What type of person do you think you are? I mean, it's an unfair question, but okay, what type of person you want to be? Okay. I ask you that question. What type of person you want to be?
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
Kalini here.
Yeah.
I want to clarify.
Yeah.
Clarify this, like just by doing devotional service.
Yeah.
One can transcend the modes, right? All the three modes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So if you ask me, I definitely want to transcend the three modes.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone? Manju, you have anything to say?
No, I learned about the sattvic, rajas, and tamas gunas.
Yeah.
And but we can still go above this by doing more chanting and more devotional service, which will take us to the heavenly planet.
Okay. Not
To
heavenly,
join
yes,
Krishna.
spiritual world. Okay, one more thing. We are supposed to pray